Howdy folks, how's it diddling? Welcome to another video. On this one, I'm actually going to do a proper walkabout on the Clio. How much rust? All of it. So I've realised that I've done 4 videos now working on the Clio and haven't done like a proper introduction on the car and how I got it and the story behind that and also plans for it. So this is what this video is about. So join me as I take you for a walk around this rather rusty Clio. So this is my 1995 Renault Clio. I believe it's a phase 1.5 in Napoli's red. Well, I say Napoli's red, more kind of worn out red. So you can see with the paintwork here, it's awful. Listen to that. It's had a respray once in its life, or patchwork, and as you can see, look at this beautiful, would you call that patina? I think you would. But yeah, so just a quick walk around and show you essentially the good, the bad and the ugly on this car. So let's start with the ugly part. First thing, these headlights. Now, these are aftermarket headlights called halo lights, very similar to what's on the style at the time for like BMWs. And these were quite popular back in the day. I'm not particularly clean of these. I prefer the original style, but I don't know. I'll see how they have to go. But yeah, so at the moment, these are in the ugly category. Also in the ugly category is the paintwork, as I just mentioned. It's lack appeal for days, and it just feels fantastic. Not only have you got lack appeal on the bonnet, but also the roof as well. Oh yeah, and it's missing the aerial. It has got these Wolf Racing 6-spoke 17-inch alloys, which you know what? They're kind of growing on me, but people probably think they're rather ugly. I do have the centre caps for them. They're in the boot. But yeah, there you go. Just go past the weeds. There you go. And she is a 16 valve. She's a 16 valve, lads. She's a screamer. But yeah, so there it is. This side is not too bad in regards to paint. It's got a few scratches. Again, this roof is just beautiful. And also this aerial, what's left of it, is being siliconed in. And along with the roof, like most cars of this age, the roof has been siliconed. So yeah, that'll need sorting as well, which looks rather ugly. But that's another point for another stage. Right, on to the bad. Right, again, starting at the front of the vehicle. Fog lights. It's there in spirit. I do have the lens for it, but as you can see, it's fallen off and it's very corroded. The other one has got a giant crack in it, and it's just held. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, how about that for a bit of live action? So it's and as you can see, it's not going to really fog light much. So yeah, new pair of those, which I think are really expensive. So yeah, deep joys. Another bad thing is rust. I suppose you can call it bad and ugly. So we've got this arch, which I've tacked in. Ignore that. This will be fully welded in. Unfortunately, the weather's been against me. Since I've done this the other week, almost, the weather has been terrible and I haven't been able to get out to weld the rest of it in. But yeah, so this seal gone, inner seal gone. So yeah, oh no, obviously there's part of the what's left of the seal, and you can see where it's just been patched. Look at that, beautiful. Patch on patch, as they'd say. So this seal needs to be done, which is part of the bad. Now let's move on to the good of this vehicle, if there is any. Right, before I go on to the good, just show you a bit more rust, because, you know, French car. So this is rather rusty on the old tailgate, and if we plop the key in and pop the boot, now it's still got its trim, and it's missing the trim on that side and the other side, but hopefully eBay will be able to sort that out. More rust here, so, and it's kind of going through there, and it's not pretty, but you know what, I'm not going to replace it, I'm just going to repair it, because I'm trying to keep this as cheap as possible, and I've got a welder, so that'll be repaired. Now, I did say I'll get on to good things, and this is one of the good things. It has a really, I'd say, low mileage. It's done 138,000 odd miles, but the engine runs. It runs. The gearbox works because it did move forward, so that's all good. I'm struggling, folks. Going back to, let's go to the list back to bad. This radiator is decided to give up the will to live. I'm pretty sure that these fins are not meant to fall out so easily, so it's gonna need, yeah, that's meant to be, they're all the cooling fins, so this radiator is knaggered, so that will need to be replaced. Pretty sure the fan, the motor's possibly seized. Doesn't feel great, feels a bit tetchy. There is bits of just bleeding out here along the slam panel, but again, bit of TLC. But it is fairly complete, and it hasn't been modified too much. It's got oil. It's not too bad. It's not brilliant, but it will get an oil change. It's got this K&N filter on it, which was probably a good couple of £100 worth back in the day. Shame it hasn't come with the original airbox, but they're really expensive. A friend of mine used to have a Williams 2, which he took to a company called Hill Power. I'm trying to think whereabouts they're based. Not too far from here in Staffordshire, possibly Nottingham way. And Hill Power do a conversion where they take this and essentially run it through here and put the air filter in here, and then replace this with a bag style water tank, not water tank, washer fluid. Yeah, so, but that could possibly be on the cards, but for now, just want to get it running and driving and MOT'd. Will it get done this year? Probably not. The coolant tank, let's have a mooch. That is, yeah, bone dry and really horrible. Look at that. Yeah, that's not poo, that's just discoloured rust, so that'll need addressing to find out why. Yeah, and it's just a bit cobwebby, and yeah, so there is good points. It's got these nice 8mm double silicone sporty leads with, that's not really the correct way to hold them, and yeah, but apart from that, it's got an engine, it does run. Now let's move into the interior. So there's usually a plastic sheet because unfortunately the window's got a bit of a gap, and also there's a seal missing along here, because that's the current piece of plastic that's stopping all the rainwater getting in. But if we squeeze inside her, so she's got a lovely Mark 1 steering wheel. Need to get the cover for that. It has got these fantastic blinds, which you just, yeah, look at that. Now the other one, it's got that one's got a hook, and it just hooks in. This one, the hook's missing and broke off, but we can just do that and push it in. So you've got blinds at least. Lovely leather seats. Oh, leather. A nice period stereo, which I mentioned before. Some lovely gauges. There we go. And oh, check these out. Rip Speed metal pedals. Yeah. Might keep them, might not, might sack them off because not really my thing. Going over here, so this door card is currently off at the moment in order to try and sort this window out. It's going to need a new motor, which is in here. So I need to take this out, which involves unbolting the regulator here, here, and then these are the 3 bolts for the motor, and then I'll have to figure out how to get it off the glass. That's a problem for another time. I think it's just clips or something. But a big problem with this door is you'll never guess what. You shouldn't be able to do that from the bottom of the door. So this bottom of the door is just gacked. The outer edge is not too bad. It is a bit crusty on the outside, but it's still fairly solid. So I'll probably end up again cutting all this out, this rot, and just welding in a piece and just making it look pretty, because I'm going to be honest, folks, I could try and buy a new door, but what's the point? I might as well just repair this one. Your glove box, how about that? Still got its retaining strap, which is not broken. And this was the idea of a cup holder back in the 90s, and then something to hold your paperwork. The glove box, typically French on a right-hand drive vehicle, small, so you can fit fuck all in there. But then you have this handy dandy little shelf here to put all your nuts and bolts and screws. Now, because this vehicle has been modified in the past by a youth, obviously they've put in these JBL speakers. It had JBL door speakers as well, but they've decided to, because they didn't fit, they've just, instead of trying to trim the grill, they've just hacked a great big hole out and just, so they look absolutely, I'm going to be honest, dog shit. So, and that's on both sides. There you go, there's the other side, just hacked out. It does have electric windows. Yeah, that switch doesn't feel like it's working anymore. That's just, yeah, that one's actually got some clicky action. This one, nothing. You got electric mirrors as well. Don't know if they work. And yeah, so that, oh, and then obviously you've got this lovely period Sparco gear knob with the red that kind of matches the outside of it when it was new, and your lock button to order to lock the doors or unlock them, like that. Nice clunky switch. Listen to that, folks. Nice. Missing its old the old cigarette lighter. For those of a younger generation, they'll probably think, what the fuck is that for? Well, you'd have a thing in there that you button, you'd press, and then it'd pop up, and then you'd have like a coil, and you'd use it to light your cigarettes, or if you're driving something like this, probably a joint. But yeah, so that is pretty much the Clio. Oh, let's show you the back as well. So currently we've got bits of carpet in from the Mercedes that I've got parked next to this. I will get round to doing that. And the door card. But yeah, leather seats in the back. So yeah, not too bad. Right, folks, so that's just a quick walkabout and to show you the car. Now, the story behind it, I bought it back in February 23, so earlier this year. A guy called Danny, based, I want to say near, not Belper, but, you know, towards Matlock area, somewhere like that. Anyway, he specialises in in Clios and bits and pieces, and he bought this from a guy in London and had it transported all the way up, and he was going to break it, but because the engine didn't run, he just, in his own words, he couldn't be fucked to strip it because it was cold, it was outside, and he just wanted the thing gone. And so I paid what it owed him, which was £800, which, to be fair, is not bad. Bit of a gamble with not knowing that the engine ran, but it runs. If you see episode 4 of this series, then you'll see that this runs, kind of, almost, very loudly because it's got no exhaust. But yeah, so I bought it off him for £800, got it delivered back home, and I've been doing bits and pieces, been waiting for the weather to kind of get better. I have been working on my 205. That was the main project, to get that running for this year and on the road and nice. So this is the next one. Now, folks, I have got other vehicles. I have got, if we just look over there in the window, that's an MG ZR 160, which is which is a pretty nice car. I will be doing a walk around on that, and also explaining the story behind that. Believe it or not, I bought that last year. It only cost £400 for a 160 MG ZR in biomorphic green, but I'll get into another video on that. And then to the other side of me is the longest car I've owned. That used to be my daily driver. It's a Mercedes C180 manual, in a lovely green colour. I like green, wow, turquoisey. And again, I'll do a full walk around video of that, and possibly a will it start, because it's been sat for almost 3 years, and I know it's got a problem with with the cam position sensor. That is nadgered, but it had been nadgered for about a year. So, and it's full of E10 fuel. So will it start? I'm not sure, but that'll be another video. So I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. So if you like this kind of video and want to see more on this car and the MG and the Merc, write in the comments, let us know. I'm also, if you check out social media channels, I've got Instagram under the Crap Car Hunter, and also TikTok and X, which sounds weird because it's Twitter, and yeah, so check those out. And I post up when a new video is posted. And yeah, so until next time, folks, hope you had a good one, and fuck off, fly. And remember, tidy bar.